If there's anything we can do for you to repay this debt, please tell us. Come to think of it, did you not mention that you had business with me?
Well, actually...
If there's anything I can do, please ask.
You really mean anything?
Of course.
Just want to be clear here.
Ask me.
Take your clothes off.
What?
I said take your clothes off.
Take off.
It is a request from the brave warriors. It's not like they're gonna kill her or auction her off.
Wait a second here!
Please?
We have to take the clothing off of the 5 chosen elves, or else we won't be able to go back to Japan.
Take their clothes off? Japan?
We're looking for spell fragments imprinted on the skin, so take off your flippin' clothes!
I don't understand.
If I explain, do you promise to believe me?
This is a nightmare.
Even worse!
Fire!
Nothing like some good old prodigy from the 90s. How are you guys? Are you hearing me out there? Give me a thumbs up or give me an okay. Give me a banana, in the chat to let me know that you're hearing me clearly. Clearly, I should say. Let me just check all the sounds. Yep, looks like my stream is like, for me, because I'm using a VPN, it's like about a minute behind, maybe even 2 minutes behind. Depends on which country I set it at. Like it could be like 2 minutes to about 3 minutes behind. So hopefully you guys are hearing me at the time that you're hearing me, right? So welcome to the stream. This is going to be like a half an hour at the max. I'm used to like doing hour long to like 3-4 hour long streams. So this is a quick one because I thought like there's something else I want to watch around, in half an hour's time. But also I'm running out of energy because I'm working on so much stuff. I'm like, my brain's like, firing all the time, synapses, and I'm getting exhausted, and that's why I just had to keep taking long breaks over live streaming. But I wanted to come on and talk about that we're doing this project, right? VoTK, right? Valley of the Kings. The really cool thing about this work, right? It was offered to me from my publisher and said, he said like, hey, look, I've got this project that's been offered and to do through our studio, one of other studios, because there's about 3-4 different avenues that we can release our comics through, and under like who's the editor, the producer, the person in charge of that. And he said, look, I'm like solidly filled up, and I don't think it's something I want to be doing. Excuse me. There's this freaking gas coming back from the old, and I said, well, let me have a look at it. Right. Let me have a look at this. And I had to read through, and I was like, oh, okay, this is, kind of okay. It kind of feels like a slice of life thing. And I'm like, that's not something, that's going to interest people. But there was one thing that really got me. And I was like, yeah, this is what I need to concentrate on. If this book is coming to me and I'm going to be the producer, the editor, the art director on this, and now I'm the letterer as well, and probably the color flatter, because it's a 3-man team at the moment. And then when I attach myself to it, I try to lessen the burden on anybody else, because I'll do as much work as I can, basically organizing artists, which we did get attached to, which is what I'm going to show you some work from. All right. Let me see how we're doing this. Image share. No, that's not the one. Yeah, this new, like, everybody's complaining about StreamYard, right? We pay for StreamYard. We expect it to work the way we want. And sadly, it's not doing what we want. And it just sucks. And it kind of like annoys the hell out of me, because, it's like, well, how do I move this along? And it's not moving along for me now. So I'm going to get rid of everything on my screen. I actually had a go at this, and I thought, okay, it's working. Now it's not. So I apologize for that. But let's have a look at some artwork, right? I think it's share screen, and I pop this one up. No, I pop that one up, and then I go back onto that one, and then I can go there. Got it. All right. So this is the, you guys saw an image of this if you saw the placeholder, right? So this is Anubis. And this is what I'm talking about, why I felt like that as a studio, that we don't have anything like this, and it'll be great to pick this up. Now, this is just an intro to the project for this stream. As I mentioned, like, we're going to be doing an actual interview with the creator, Steve Samiti, right? Stephen, who's an American, right? And he's going to, the writer creator of this project. And then I'm the editor, the producer, the art director, everything else to attach, who work to get the look for an artist to attach to this, because Steve is paying for this artwork from out of his own pocket. Now, here's the thing, right? You guys don't hear about crowdfunding projects that actually have somebody else actually pay for it before it goes to crowdfunding, which is why, for me, I'm like doing as much work as I can to make sure that we get this to crowdfunding right after the artists have been paid and the project's ready to go, and that you guys can get this work in your hands quickly once it goes to crowdfunding. And so, like I said, I'm doing the art directing, I'm doing the lettering, probably, color flatting, because I have my, I bought a secondhand Cintiq. It's friggin' like, if you buy one of those Cintiqs, if you've seen those Cintiqs, like color, and you draw onto it, and the pages are on there. I use Clip Studio Paint, so it's on there, and you draw on it, and basically you can, color it in and yourself. And then what I do is, because I'm really bad at tone, like shading and stuff like that. So I'll do all the color flattings myself, because it takes hours to do color flatting. I'm very slow at it. I'm just learning. However, I can then pass it off to a tone, a shader, a toner, to add their part to it, which keeps the cost down. Right? At the end of the day, when you're producing something that you want to have already made before it gets to crowdfunding, and that everybody's paid off before it gets crowdfunding, and all you got to do is pay back the artist. Artist already paid off. Pay back the writer for his work, and usually the writer doesn't even take a cut. Like me, I don't really take a cut from the work I do, because all I care about on my comic books is to have it made. I tell a story, get my story made, and if there's something comes in, whatever, right? As long as I have a product in my hand, I am happy, because it's like my dream has come true, right? And so I'm happy with that. And as long as the artist and whoever else involved gets their cut, or gets their work paid for, so that's why I'm like I said, well, I'll do I'll do as much work as possible on this project, probably about 50%, right? Apart from the artwork, because artwork's the other 50%. So we've got this amazing project called Valley of the Kings, right? Like I said, at the first, it felt like it was a slice of life, son and father story that really didn't grab me until, for the last year or so, for the first 6 months, I was just working back and forth with the writer going, hey, this needs to change. Maybe look at this. Maybe look at how you would feel. And this is something that writers need to, a lot of writers who haven't been taught, who just come from like, hey, I've read 100 books or 100 comic books. And I don't mean to diminish, because he had a great idea. And that's something that is like how to bring great ideas to life, is that you can come up with, and I've done this in the past myself, so I'm guilty of this myself, right? Where you think, oh, I got a great idea, and here you put everything in it. And then you go, well, you take it to somebody else and go, well, you should do this, you do that. So that's what happened with the situation with me. It's like, okay, how about we do this? How about we do that? And then a couple of rewrites later, we had a really cool project on our hands. And so I was just wanting to show off some work, right? So this is like character design, right? This is Anubis in his human form. And you've got Anubis here in his Egyptian god form, right? These are just prelim. I can't say that word. I never can get my tongue around it. It's like Japanese people, they can't say R or sorry, L or R. It's just, I have the same problem. So amazing artwork. And by the way, Francisco Conti, the guy that I'm working with on this project that I attached, to work on this, he's actually worked on my Robot Nation work that we've completed all the coloring or everything, 40-page, 2 stories. We're going to release our projects at the same time so that you can actually buy a package deal rather than buying, supporting one book at a time. You can support 6 books, right? You can buy 6 books, and so that your freight is like one price. So you can get 5 different comic books, or 1 or 2, whatever, depending, for the same freight cost, right? Or similar freight costs. So you're not paying like freight costs for every single book. This is something that nobody else that I'm aware of is doing, but this is something that I've come up with after 12 months of thinking about this, how to make freight cheaper for backers. Because as you know, like right now, it's crazy, because if you're going to put out, like for me to get a book from the US is $30. That's usually the price of the comic itself, right? When you transfer and all that, or close enough. When you when you exchange, do the exchange rate, yeah. And so because of that, I'm like, I've spent like a whole, last 6 to 8 months going, how do I make it better, to make it more appealing to people who don't know me, don't know my studio, don't know my artists, to come to buy our support us, and not go, oh crap, I got to pay freight for every single book. But of course there'll be digital offers as well, but posters, cards, comic books, we're going to offer as much as we can, so that when you come to, back one of our Plunge Comic Studios books, right, you can buy 3 books at the same time under the same back campaign, rather than waiting for 6 different campaigns throughout the year to back. Because I felt like that it's not really, because you want to bring in, I just realized I should have looked at this when I was trying to name the characters, because I had to ask Steve and go, hey man, who's who on this when I'm lettering. And yeah, so we've got some, like, seriously man, like the details, it's just so cool. I love the artwork that Francisco does. He's amazing. So this is part of the team. They're called, The Watch. That's one of the side things. And so you got some, here's the thing about this comic book, right? We basically went in and I asked my artist to do every single page thumbnail. Do the character design, then go in and thumbnail every single page. And then I went in and I lettered it. I edited it, what I wanted changed. Put the sound text or logos, whatever you want to say, like boom, kaboom, or wah, like bang, crash, all that stuff, right? or when it comes to like bow and arrows, whap, you know, when you release it, whap. And so I had every single page basically thumbnail like this, very detailed. And this is the thing about Francisco, he really does detailed um, thumbnail, mock-ups of the page, so I know exactly where everybody is. And then when I go to put in my word and my lettering, I can get him to look at it and be able to, so he can, when he sees it, he goes, yeah, this is the main area. I got to concentrate. Oh, okay, I need to move this characters around a bit so I can give him more room for the text. And this is the thing about, like, you know, because I've been doing this is like my 8th project, right? Maybe around, yeah, about that many projects. And we've only released like one because we've been like, okay, we got to get everything done before we get to the Kickstarter, right? All the cards have to have all their, you know, all the lettering, all the information on there on the front, all colored in. On the back, everybody's got to have the information, you know, so it all ties in. Posters are all ready to go. You know, as soon as the backing goes, click, send to printer, let's go. You know, rather than, you know, waiting around, okay, we got to do this. The only other thing that that I have to wait on, and it's because I want to add the Kickstarter backers' names in there, because I think, you know, you got to show gratitude. One thing I've learned throughout my life is that when people do something for you, even if they don't desire it, it's always great to show gratitude, to be grateful, to be thankful. You know, it's something that, like, you know, I've learned over my life. I'm 52 now, right? And when I was younger, I didn't really care about this stuff, and I had to train myself to say thank you, thank you, thank you over again, because my brain is like always like fast, and I'm on to the next thing, and I don't think about it. And I had people, my friends, come to go, hey, you need to say thank you. And I'm like, I thought I did. No, he said, "Like, you were moving so fast, you forgot." And like, so now I'm like, I got to, you know, be grateful for what we got. And, you know, and I think that's something that, like, as you get older, you really appreciate people in your life, especially now with crowdfunding. I despise people who do not complete their campaigns. I've been burnt by people not like supporting something and never getting anything in return. And if I as a as a one person on the other side of the world feel like that, imagine how many thousands of people feel like that. And those people will never go back another crowdfunding campaign, right? They would never look at it again. Go, well, you know, I got burnt once, twice shy, right? Reminds me of the Great White 80s, 90s, 80s band, who, you know, once bitten, twice shy, and a song, right? And so for me, I'm like, you know, so I said to Francisco, get in there, you know, drop every single page, mock it all up, show me what we got, then I'll go in and letter it. So I spend like, I'm like really crazy. Like, I think I'm, because I just wake up and start working. Because I don't know if you guys have seen some of my short videos, that I'm actually, my screen, my work screen is right at my foot of my bed. And so I just turn on the YouTube, whatever, and watch a couple of bits of news, and then straight into work. And, you know, or have a podcast on one screen while I'm working the other. So I don't actually get up and go and make myself a coffee until 2 hours later. And then by that time, like, you know, it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, have I eaten today? So I was up for 30 hours on Saturday, which was Friday for everybody else in the Northern Hemisphere, basically just lettering. And I'm like, why am I so tired? And then I slept for 9 hours. And then I woke up, and then this morning, you know, yesterday I finished the rest of the 6 pages and then sent it across. So all the lettering's basically done. All I have to do is once the pencils come in, just arrange it right. And also the cover B, as I showed you guys on the imprint, I mean, placeholder, right, for this video, that cover's done as well, right? So we're going to do 3 covers only, a wraparound. I'm looking at getting a guest to do the wraparound cover. I'll put a poster out and 4 cards, and I'm calling it the gods. So for the first issue, there's about 6 issues on this. We're going to do like the gods card, right? So 4 gods will be up here on the first cards. I've got Stephen, who's the writer, as I said. He's going to be doing the back, the back card info. So we got everything, boom. The other cool thing is, because we are at the stage of just penciling right now, right? Within 3 weeks or so, once getting the artist involved, attached, contract signed, green lit, project was like, let's go. And so, now you can see, right, the artwork is basically all the, I actually added 2 extra pages, so it's not, instead of 26 pages, it's now 28 pages, because I felt like that there was a bit more, a bit more room was needed to allow for the story to develop a bit more, and that was it. So we added 2 extra pages, which is cool for the artist because he gets paid for 2 extra pages of work, right? But the other thing is that I'm just so glad that we have Francisco attached, because he's like really fast, and he's really, from looking at the work, I can see that he loves this project. And it's very, if you're out there as a writer or as a creator, right, or whatever, if you're gonna, if you want someone to work on a project, make sure the project is something that they're interested in, because you'll get great work out of them. And you can see, that's what I noticed on this one, was like, Francisco was really, I could tell that he really loves this project, the idea behind it. So the setting for the project is like the setting for the story is in the near future, right? Stuff happens, and now people are living inside a wall, right? And then we find out who's creating the wall, how the wall came to be, and who are, what's happening. I kind of feel like when I first looked at it, I was thinking like the Colony. Have you guys heard of the TV show? It's got the guy from Lost, one of the key actors from Lost. So I think it's Colony. I'll show you this so you guys can. Josh Holloway. So it felt, for me, it kind of felt like that. Are you going to open up IMDb? So this is, let me just show you, if you have never seen Colony, it's really cool. I like, let me pop out of there, stop sharing that screen, go to share IMDb screen. So this is the Colony, right? So if you guys, if you've never seen it, it's about, it's a story about aliens who basically, and our story isn't about aliens, but I felt like,
it's going to be another beautiful day today in Los Angeles with a high of 70.
Good morning. Good morning. You stink? Or is it you? You stink?
What are you gonna do when this is all over?
I'll leave this garage, you idiots. Never come back.
This is the worst part of it, Husbands separated from wives, parents from children.
It's bad enough he's gone. But to see you every day hating me for it, he's my son too.
You know what they do to the families of criminals.
You, come here.
This.
Come here.
I haven't done anything.
You'll be my 38th run. You got nothing to worry about.
Hop in. Going to find my son. We were separated during the arrival.
How old?
He turned 12 last week.
You have entered the...
The crazy thing is that Stephen, who's never watched this show before, never even knew, because the other thing is Stephen works 6 months at one place, 6 months another country kind of thing, right? Another state, whatever. And so he didn't even know that this thing existed. And I was like, he's just written a comic book series, and his comic book series, this is a revision of that story. Like I said, we redid the entire first issue. We're going to have to redo entire 6 issues of this, and there's a second arc he wants to do as well. I just noticed something on it says here that we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook, and that sucks. Cancel. Get rid of that. Go wait. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this thing just popped up on my screen going, we can't stream. So yeah, and so that was crazy, because I was like, because recently I don't read comics anymore because I'm writing so much. I don't want those stories to influence me. and I'm very jealous about what I write and what I work on and how I do things. And I don't want people to go, oh, I recognize that is there, that is there. And so I try to go out of my way to make my stories fresh and as new as possible, right? The genre might be the same, right? Like writing an isekai story like Zoolander, right? And then, and then trying to like put my own little bit and twist into it. Excuse me. So when I talked to Stephen, I said, hey mate, when I was, when the project was offered to me to put it through our studio, I said to him, like, go and watch this and read this comic book, right? And then think about what you desire when people pick up your comic book, or when you pick up a brand new comic book, what do you want to see? And so he went away and rewrote and kept editing, and we had meetings and stuff, about 3-4 meetings, video meetings about, what to change, what to add, what to leave, what was a core thing about the story that he felt like that he needed to tell people. And so it was great to see, to have this project now come to me, to our, basically my studio, and be able to rework this in a way that the main themes are there, the main importance of the story is there. Hey Helda, welcome my loyal subject. Your Monkey King is very happy to have you here. So I just want to thank you guys for hanging out from this short stream. But like I said, this is just to let you know that we are doing this project, and this project is going to be 100% finished before we get to Kickstarter. I'm hoping it'll be finished very quickly, because the fact that we have actually started on the pencils, right, within like 3 weeks of basically 3-4 weeks of getting an artist tied to it, doing all the prelim work, mocking up every single page, right, in detail, so you can it's going to come, all the edits on the screen, on the like the mock-up pages, that we've got it sorted, and that you can when I say that we get this won't come to Kickstarter until it's totally finished, you have my word on that, right? And this is like this. I think this is our 7th campaign that we 7th project. So I shouldn't say 7th campaign. It's only we've only released 1 campaign. So one of the other things, like where are we? Okay, let's get out of that one. So I just want to show you. Is it on this? I think it's on the other screen. I might have to pop over to the other screen. But another project that we're working on, is it going to show, is which is almost finished. Oh, and this is the reason I wanted to bring that up. I had forgotten. So we actually have one of our projects that we almost finished is called The Tortoise. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because The Tortoise, is a manga, is our first manga, right? So we are putting The Tortoise on. Let me get rid of that. Go back out of there. Those were the pages for it. That's why I just had that up. But we are putting The Tortoise in a webtoon format for on webtoon, right? So you guys can actually go on there and for free, links in the chat right here, and check it out. Like so Tomas, we did a whole interview with Tomas, and he's been like my co-host on a whole bunch of like anime and manga shows that we did, live streams we did, because he's a manga artist out of Argentina. Is it Argentina? Or is he from Brazil? I think, yeah, he's from Brazil. And then Luis is from Argentina, right? So he's on the last 2 pages of this manga. I think it's about 40 page, so it's about 28 page, or maybe more than 28 pages of story and art. But yeah, so you can actually go to Webtoons and read the first couple pages, right? So this is like let me see, right? So here you go. So you guys, TC Tomas Retier. So this artwork here, by the way, the cover art, and he's actually done 3, I think, for this. Is my fan favorite, like my fan favorite, like my favorite artist, right? In the sense of James Hill. I just think he's brilliant. I mean, I work with great artists, but like I just love his cover work. It's just awesome. So this Amber, and so basically it's about two young women, in their early 20s, embarking on an overseas adventure, uncovering a hidden tribe and the secrets of a mysterious turtle legend. Right. So, but the reason I'm saying this is like I had James did the pencils on this. I had Tomas do the inks, and then I did the color flats. So we haven't actually added the tones to it, but I kind of like it without the tones. The only things I added a bit of tones was here on the water splashing. But yeah. So this is a new format for me. Like, it was crazy trying to set up how webtoons work. How you gotta like have this crunchy, not crunch, like your artwork sort of like in the specific small pages. So breaking down a single page into 8 or 9 pages for webtoons, it was very interesting. Let me excuse me, let me see if I can shrink this down so you can see the entire page. There you go. So this is what I mean. So there's like this long sliver to go on your it's my pocket. So like, so you can have like the whole thing on your phone. So it's like long as. And I'm like, I had to re-edit everything because we wrote it as a manga. So it reads from right to left, right, and then back that way. Like is that opposite? Like an S, right? Yeah, like an S. I was just remember like sounds like ass, but like S, right? Especially with my accent. So yeah, I had to break up an entire like normal comic book page, 7.7 by 10.5 inches, into like these little slivers. So it's sorry, you guys are probably seeing it in very small on your screen because I'm doing that. So yeah, it's a kind of the story the told is like a slice of life, fantasy horror. So it's mature readers, has semi nudity, and has a lot, blood and gore and stuff like that. And so, there's kind of told as a diary kind of way. And so we've got that. So that's the first page. But let me get to like I said, we're only releasing like a page at a time, and about 9 little cut up images of the page with a story. Like here, like you guys, if you've read webtoons, how different it is, right? You just have like one speech bubbles, and you get all, like this here. We got 2 with just the narration, and then I've released, then you got the second part, and it just looks weird. Like you don't see the entire whole page, then so you take it all in. It's for me, I found it really interesting that like, and strange because I'm not used to it. How it's just little slivers of the page or bits of the panel, and you got to rearrange it in a way that like you're not cutting up your panel or having your frames there, So yeah, it is it's kind of strange because like there's a cut here, but that's like, yeah. Anyway, you guys know what I mean when you like read it. So yeah, so there's that one here, and also let me show you. Because this was like a work I had to really study for, and research for, I should say, not study. And I had to learn about like turtles and stuff. And we had another artist attach this, and we put it another one, but like things happened, and so I found another artist who could carry on with it, and we read the entire first issue from scratch. So this is my studies about it, like learning about the fact that they're like they had to stop people from like killing these beautiful animals that live for hundreds of years, right? If they were able to survive in the wild, like, so that kind of like, and the other thing about this, like I've mentioned earlier, is that like a lot of my stories come from my dreams, like snippets of dreams. And like I remember how this one started was, how at the start you had to see this little girl how they're on the beach with their parent, and the little girl is like going, "Daddy, I want a turtle," and I'm like, I wake up and go, "That's what was that about?" I go, "Huh, maybe I'll do a story on it." Next thing you know, writing an entire story of researching turtles and stuff. So same thing like Zealandia came out that way as well, and we've already finished issue 1 of Zealandia. It's been colored. We're already starting work on the second one, right? And so we're trying to be ahead of the game when we release a comic book. We want to have half of the first issue already finished before we actually release the first issue, because we want to get away from being a crowdfunding studio who puts half a book out or a part of a page to say, hey, we're going to do crowdfunding, and like you never see one, or you don't see one for a year. Or I mean, like in a sense, like, when we release a book, it's already ready to go to print, and not waiting around for it to come to you years on end, and going, where's my book, where's my book, where's my book, where's my product I paid for with my hard work. And like I said, I've been through that, and I'm like, I don't want to go through that ever again as someone who's actually doing a Kickstarter, right, or doing a crowdfund campaign. I want to be able to say, here's a book, we'll have it to you as soon as this is backed, all the fees are paid, because Kickstarter takes that cut, right? So they wait around to clear all the payments before they even go, okay, here's your money, go get it printed. I learned that last year. So thank you for hanging out with and watching this little short spot about VoTK. And wherever you are, have an amazing day. We'll catch you in the next one. Ka kite anō. Catch you on the flip side. Have an awesome day, guys.
Nope. Can't stay here anymore. I gotta get back. I think this was the spot. Oh Lord, I beseech thee, please return me to my old life. I swear I'll do anything. Like, literally anything. And I won't bother you again, so pretty please bring me back to life.